any individual that wants to improve their performance, wants to be at peak, wants to succeed in a greater way than they are now, wants to achieve more. I don't know if you saw the MotoGP at the weekend. Someone was talking about Casey Stoner, who's a very capable bike rider, and someone said he wrings every ounce of power and ability out of that machine and that motorbike. And I think it's the same with individuals. Even if that you're performing at peak and you've got a very successful, profitable business, there's always things that you can do to make it even better.
I think anyone who is in a position of managing or leading a business, either like a chief exec or a managing director or a vice president, is probably touching the limit of his personal skills. He's now moving to the behavior level, the attitude, where things are getting different. It's not on what they know, it's what they do, it's how they do it. And I expect anyone really to challenge his own certitudes and certainties that he or she is great by coming for a day with the masterclass, because that's maybe the only day in the year that that person will benchmark his own ability to lead by just meeting other people in the same room that have more or less the same needs, and maybe bombarding their questions to the bunch of coach sitting there and receiving sort of feedback. So I would advise anyone who is thinking being good to see if he's great, because from good to great, there's slightly little things you can improve time after time, and maybe that room will be full of people with the expectation to get better just on one thing, and they should be coming.
Individuals attending the top Performance Masterclass will gain insights into themselves, and when you have a greater insight and awareness of yourself, it makes you so much more capable in working with other individuals. And the impact of that might well be how you manage your team, how you work with the individuals within your business, but equally how you interface with your clients. So I think lots of things around leadership, around impact, around managing people, and how you can perform at your absolute best, both as an individual, as a team, and ultimately as a company, and affecting the bottom line of that company.
Anyone who goes to a training of some sort is always, unless he's completely sleeping during the day, should always go home with something to do. If only one thing you can learn, that could be on Monday back in the office, changing slightly your way to do things, or how you behave, or how you speak to people, or how you take decisions, or how you delegate things, or how you interface with the rest of the organization. If only one thing is getting better, if you just get one thing to stop doing or to start doing, you justify that investment to be in this classroom.
I think specifically entrepreneurs, CEOs, founders of maybe growing SMEs and young businesses, there are so many things that individual needs to have under control. There are many, many distractions, and entrepreneurs, I think, by their very nature, tend to be quite maverick individuals, and therefore they will be very innovative, very creative, and looking at a number of different things at any given time. And therefore, I think when one can work with an entrepreneur to really help them gain clarity and focus in terms of what's important and what they need to be doing in their businesses that really align to their talents.
Effectively, the entrepreneur more and more get lonely in their position. I mean, they usually had people at the same level to talk to, and higher you are in the pyramid, less people you have available to share ideas, to play like a sounding board, and you always feel insecure if you start to open your mind. So I think the chief exec is becoming lonely. He may speak to his partner at home, or he may speak to his chairman or to his investors, but there is very little added value sometimes for the people around, because they don't know what you're talking about. Well, the coach is the right person for that. It's independent, he's not there to please you, he's not there to have an opinion, he's not having shares in the business, he's not playing his business himself as a position. So I think it's becoming obvious that higher you are in the hierarchy, on the pyramid, you need to get supported by someone externally. And that's name is the coach.
A coach, by definition, will be incredibly supportive and an enabler, and will encourage and believe in any aspirations and goals that an individual has. So whilst my opinion is that I think if a business has a coaching style and one is able to use your colleagues as a sounding board and people listen, truly listen, that's fantastic. But I think in essence a coach adds a different dimension, and more importantly, they will challenge and push and push.
The coach is not always aware of the business angle. The coach is not always aware of the details. The colleagues are always interested by details, by the hidden agenda, by the politics, by if I do this, maybe I can get that. If I do that, I can get this. The coach is outside of that game, is outside of the chain of command. And normally the colleague could help you, but the coach will support you, will listen to you, will care with you. And I think colleagues sometimes would love to play the coach role, but they're not trained to that. That's not their mandate. Their mandate is to work with you, is not to coach you. So an external body is always the answer.
I would certainly hope that a coach would undoubtedly help you reduce the stress in your world, in your business life. Working with a coach will often bring your executive environment, your business world into very sharp focus, and therefore enable you to perhaps reduce those areas that are very stressful for you. Why are they very stressful for you? What is going on? And therefore, I think if you have a great coach and you've got a good rapport and relationship with that coach, yes, you should be a less stressed person as a result of the program, certainly.
The quickest the chief exec get into the action, the highest level of stress they have. And normally no one around them is telling them the truth about their attitude. Unless there is a coach around who may say, Jack, your level of stress is above the limit. You start to reduce the impact of your leadership. Your magic is moving away. The people start to complain. They have lost confidence in your project. It's time for you to relax. It's time to you to balance your priorities. It's time to you to step down and make maybe a week off. The coach is usually the only person able to say that. The coach is not someone who wants to be popular, you know. He's not there to please the boss. He's not like the brown-nosed head of the club. He's someone who is able to say things that nobody wants to say to the boss, like, Jack, you're very, very exhausted tonight. It's time to go home. So I think, yes, if the coach is doing his job properly to observe the behavior of his client, he should also help him to reduce his level of stress or to better manage and better drive the stress level that this function of chief exec always generates.